start of the season in place of her former Buffalo teammate, Georgia Woolley. Orange and the Cavaliers. Virginia losers of 5 of 6. Syracuse losers of 3 straight. Trying to get back in the win column here inside the Dome. Kyra Wood to tip it off against Camryn Taylor. Virginia in navy blue. The orange in the home whites. And we are underway. Virginia wins the tap, moving right to left. Validate trying to move too quick. She turns it over to a Syracuse starting lineup that looks like this. Dyaisha Fair and Tisha Hyman, the dynamic duo in the backcourt, but I mentioned it. Saniyya Wilson, her first start of the season.
Really interesting. She's had an uptick in play recently, but she's a solid player and does a lot of great work in the paint.
Alaina Rice bounces for Hyman. Rice right inside the three-point line. This is long, but Saniyya Wilson with an instant impact missed the layup. Fight for the rebound, jump ball, and the orange have the possession arrow. Well, Coach Jack said this week her team needs a lot of work on the glass. We got bullied, was her comments this week after that Duke game. Looking for people with that blue-collar mentality. And Saniyya Wilson, who had 3 rebounds in the loss to Duke, gets an offensive board to give the orange another possession. Alaina Rice for 3. Rice coming off a 15-point performance against Duke gets the party started for the Cuse. 3-0 orange.
How good has she been lately? Led Syracuse in scoring against Duke. That's the second time she's done that this season. If she continues to play like that, this team could be dangerous moving forward.
Camryn Taylor, Sam Brunell highlight the front court for Virginia, and a spin-around layup goes. Camryn Taylor, the leading scorer for the Cavaliers, opens up the scoring for UVA, and the orange turn it over. That has been a bugaboo of this Syracuse team, especially in ACC play. But when they're doing offense like this, they're unstoppable. Tisha Hyman with the Patrick Mahomes no-look.
Took the words out of my mouth. I was going to call her Patrick Mahomes there. Beautiful pass, and then Rice connecting.
Good pass in the Virginia end. Sam Brunell is on the block for 2. UVA happy to have Sam Brunell out. Missed the game against Notre Dame. Was set up to be a homecoming for the Notre Dame transfer, but missed it due to a suspension following a hard foul against Florida State. Hyman on the prowl to Rice again. Left it short this time. And Taylor Valladay is on the glass for the Cavaliers. Here come the Who's in transition. Taylor short corner shot, no. And another pass, too hot to handle. Turnovers, John, I mentioned it, but Syracuse in the ACC is turning it over 16 times per game. They turned it over 19 times in the loss to Duke.
You called it a bugaboo. I call it the Achilles heel of this team. They like to get out and play fast, but sometimes they play too fast and get out ahead of themselves, and that's another example of that right there. You're just moving the ball up the half court. Go slow, go methodical. You got the time to do it.
Brunell spins around, nobody in front of her, so she knocks down the deep 2. Sam Brunell loves to play against Syracuse, over 15 points per game in her career. 4 games against Syracuse. Hyman a no-look again, and Wilson can't hit the free throw line, Jay. Tough defense, though. Kyra Wood scoops and scores for 2.
That's why she's been starting lately. She's been on a string of starts, I think 7 in a row now, and that's why. She's not a gifted scorer, but she'll do things like that. Energy, effort, intensity, and score a bucket with the steal.
Taylor fighting through contact, no call, and a rejection. Miller gets her shot blocked, and now the orange running 3-on-2. Rice to the basket, off the glass and in. SU loves to play fast. The orange second in the ACC with 76 possessions per 40 minutes, only behind Florida State, and you saw that tempo right there.
0 to 60 in 4 seconds.
Brunell steps into a 3 short, and Wilson has the rebound. Fair, always a threat to shoot the basketball. Steps back. And this is a 3 off the rim, but Wilson is a vacuum on the glass for 2. Sanaya Wilson with 4 rebounds in 4 minutes.
Well, you said Coach wanted more rebounds out of the forwards, and the sophomore put on a display early.
Taylor misses the jumper, but the Cavs track down the offensive rebounds. Here's Valaday. You can't leave Brunel that wide open. Misses that shot. And Dyaisha Fair tracks down the rebound for the Orange.
It's a rare miss from Brunel. She's a 41% three-point shooter. That's very good.
Hyman a foot behind the three-point line. Swirls out. Fight for the rebounds. This time the possession arrow favors Virginia. Asia Strong, Dariana Lewis into the game. Lewis not in the starting lineup for just the second time this season. And there's Georgia Woolley into the contest as well. On the Virginia side, the Cavaliers have 9 players active tonight, and we will see all 9. Alexia Smith into the game for the first time, as is London Clarkson. There's Clarkson on the block, reverse layup short. Fight for her own rebound in a tough lefty finish.
I asked Coach Mox, what's the biggest thing for Clarkson? And she said it's confidence. Clarkson had 27 points in a game against BC and FSU, those 2 games combined. Last game, she only had 8. So she said the biggest thing was confidence to take away from those 2 performances and what to do consistently going forward. That was a confident take right there.
10 to shoot for the Orange. Down low to Lewis. Extra pass Strong, and her shot is blocked out of bounds by Vaughn. We got a back and forth first 5 minutes in the Dome at 9-8 Syracuse halfway through the first quarter, and there you see a look at the 2 head coaches going at it tonight. Felicia Leggett-Jack in her first year at Syracuse, and Amaka Agugwa-Hamilton in her first year at Virginia. On paper, 2 first-year coaches just trying to turn around programs coming off tough years. But John, these guys have a much tighter connection than that.
They go back a pretty long ways. Coach Mox played for Coach Jack at Hofstra, and the 2 went to the WNIT in 2006. And when Coach Mox graduated, she was Hofstra's all-time field goal percentage leader. What's also interesting, both were assistant coaches at Michigan State at one point.
That NIT bid, the first postseason appearance for Hofstra. Off the inbound, a 3-pointer long by Asia Strong. And Alexia Smith has the rebound for the Cavaliers. Virginia down 1, which has been a pretty quick back and forth affair here in the first 5 minutes. Tough take down low. Clarkson banks it in, and the Cavaliers back on top.
There's that confidence again. Caught the basketball, turned right around, and found her shot.
Dariana Lewis in traffic. Can't get the lefty layup to go, but is fouled on the way up. She'll get 2 at the line.
Looked like Lewis had a lane here off the catch, but I guess she was taught at a young age to always use the window because she took herself to that left side on the block and tried to power it in, but did draw the contact, so chance for 2 right here.
And I'm sure both coaches are smiling seeing that. Both of them. Coach Mox at Virginia and Coach Jack for Syracuse, power forwards in their day. They laugh jokingly back and forth. Coach Mox told us today, I'm going to channel some of the running and sprints Coach Jack made me do during my time at Virginia. But hey, she said we're friends outside of the lines. Inside the lines, we are not friends.
But you can't deny the fact that those sprints helped her in her career.
Another offensive glass, and London Clarkson is no doubt playing with confidence.
6 points, that's half of Virginia's point tally so far. It's been tough down low.
Speaking of confidence, Georgia Woolley needs some, leaves the 3 off the back rim. But another shot for Woolley, and this one floats home.
That's so big for her. She's had that slump as of late. Just scored 21 points across her last 4 games. Remember, she was averaging 20 in each game for her first 3 in 2023.
Alaina Rice in transition for the Orange. Dyaisha Fair still scoreless to this point. Now it's Woolley on attack mode. Leaves to Rice. Pass for Strong. And a 2. Yontavon directing traffic for Virginia. Gets the Brunel screen. Smith into the paint for a pair.
That was far too easy. I mean, Sam Brunel drew 2 Syracuse defenders, so somebody was open.
Coach Mox told us Alexia Smith, the most under-recognized player on her team, as Dyaisha Fair steps into a far wing triple.
You can't leave her that wide open. She's got free real estate. She's pulling the trigger like that.
Good defense by Strong, and it forces a turnover. Orange have numbers. Alaina Rice to the basket. 4-2.
She's been so good lately. She was kind of a role player for Syracuse last year. Now emerging as a big threat.
And Coach Mox jumping up and down, trying to get a timeout, and it's awarded.
Let's look at this defensive play one more time. Trying to throw it through Dariana Lewis, but it ends up in Rice's hands. She says, hey, I got the lane. I'm going to take this myself. Nice lefty finish.
Alaina Rice following up that 15-point day against Duke with a quick 7 in the first 8 minutes.
You know, it's funny, Calvin, because recently a lot of her teammates said she was the worst driver on the team in terms of like actually driving a car.
Yes.
Didn't look pretty bad right there on that drive, though.
Alaina Rice, in one of the pregame videos that Syracuse Athletics put out about all their players, she said her goal was to play overseas because, and I quote, I want to travel the world, baby. And she traveled the world coast to coast for a 2 on that drive to give Syracuse a 5-point lead with 2 minutes to go in this first quarter.
That's sound logic. If you play overseas, you will in fact travel.
I can't argue with that. Little full court pressure for the Orange. Smith picks up her dribble in the backcourt. Cavs do get it over the timeline.
It's like a woman-to-woman defense here for Syracuse.
Valaday, open look, and she knocks down the 3.
That's surprising from Valaday. She's not necessarily a high-volume three-point shooter. That's just her 9th on 31 attempts, but 27%, so not exactly efficient either.
Comes in averaging 10.5, though, in her last 4 contests. Knocks down the 3. Her first trio of points on the night. Rice going for double digits in the first quarter, and she's got it. Alaina Rice on fire down the stretch.
This is now her 5th 10-plus point game this season, and now 3 of those have come this year.
Polly from the parking lot, no. And Smith stepped out of bounds.
January's got to be Alaina Rice's favorite month because she has just flipped a switch that we really have not seen on a consistent game-to-game basis. But lately, that's been the case.
Polly out of the game, and here is the 9th and final Virginia Cavalier. McKenna Dale checks in, the Brown transfer in her 2nd year in Charlottesville. So we told you all 9 will play in this game tonight for Virginia, and we've seen all 9 now in the first quarter. Dyaisha Strong going to work, but she walks.
We would see 10 Virginia players, if not for Caden Lawson being out for this game with a suspension. They play very deep. They keep the legs fresh. They do some hockey line changes, if you will.
Everyone on the roster averages more than 10 minutes per game, and no one averages more than 27. So you got to prepare for a lot of Cavaliers when you play Virginia. Fight for the rebound. Jump ball. And it belongs to Syracuse. Something to keep an eye on as we go out in the duration of this game is the rebounding battle. Virginia, 2nd in the ACC, 9th in the country in rebounds per game. But right now, the Orange have a 12-7 rebounding advantage and a 5-point lead.
Virginia also good in the rebounding margin, too. About +10 per game. That's 2nd in the ACC.
Orange can hold for last shot if they want to. Woolley drives the baseline and leaves the floater short. Now last shot belongs to Virginia. Valaday kicks it. Dale misses it off the back rim, but an offensive rebound putback will not be off in time. So this has been a fun first 10 minutes.
He was defensively great in the first quarter as well.
Virginia down by 5 after 10 minutes. A team that's never won in this building, 0-4. Errant pass, but Smith controls. Valladay looking for a screen. Now attacks the basket. Leaves it for Clarkson with a tough finish.
That was a great take by Valladay, splitting 2 defenders, picking up her dribble, and a nice bounce pass to set up a basket.
London Clarkson, 8 early points to pace the Cavaliers.
She averages under 6 per game, so already doing more than what she typically does.
Fair, her second 3 of the night.
Advertised as a great 3-point shooter, 32% on the year, but she needs to see a couple go down. She has early on.
Fair just shooting 17 for 50 in her last 3 games. It's 37%. But tonight, 2 for 3 from beyond the arc, 6 points. And the Orange get the basketball back their way.
I think that's her next challenge is, yes, we know that you can hit the threes, but can you be more efficient in not only your choices on which threes to take, but then hit those choices that you do make? I want to see her limit those 3 opportunities and pick the best shot for SU as a team, not just herself.
Well, Coach Mox at Virginia said she's got the ultimate green light, and she's not lying. Dyaisha averages 17.5 shot attempts per game. Meanwhile, her former Buffalo teammate Sanaya Wilson, in her first start in a Syracuse uniform, continuing to get it done down low. Now 4 points and 5 rebounds in just 5 minutes.
She's shown that she can do it at that 5 spot.
Taylor to the line for 2.
Saw Wilson have a double-double against Long Island, 12 points, 11 boards back in 2022. But she's got a pretty big challenge tonight at Camryn Taylor.
And that was the trivia question in the Dome during our first time out. Who had that double-double against LIU early in the season?
Do I get a prize for that?
Well, I hope that no one is streaming our game in the Dome because you just gave away the trivia answer.
Sorry, everybody.
Taylor at the line for 2. Makes her first. Camryn Taylor, a 73% free throw shooter at the line. Second season in Charlottesville, following 2 at Milwaukee for Marquette. Second one rims out, but Dale tracks down the rebound. Second chance opportunity for Virginia. Valladay off the back rim and an over the back foul. Gives the ball back to the Orange.
That's something that Taylor has to be careful of. She's fouled out in 3 games this year. Fouled out in Virginia's last game in that loss to Notre Dame. So she needs to stay out of that foul trouble because she's a big player for this team, obviously, as the leading scorer.
That was one of Mox's keys. Fouls cannot be an issue for Virginia. Second on Taylor, but a third in this first half would be huge. Cavs running the fast break. Little too fast. Pass out of bounds. Valladay can't track it down. 5th turnover of the game for Virginia here in this first half. Look at Valladay. There are the bleachers. Woo. She keeps on going.
Almost to the Toyota Fun Zone.
She almost was running up the concourse to grab some chicken tenders and fries.
Not a dome dog?
6 one way, half dozen the other. Only top of the key to Fair. She's hit from that spot twice already in this contest. Wilson spins around, nobody in front of her, but she can't hit the 16-footer. Valladay, again, full head of steam to the basket. This time stops and turns it over. Dyaisha Fair running the break, and no one's faster than her. She can't hit the layup, though. Back and forth we go. It's a 4-on-2 for Virginia. Dale to Burnell, left it short, and Syracuse has the rebound. Kyra Wood can't finish the run. She misses the bunny. Now it's a 5-on-1 for Virginia. Taylor to the basket, right hand, left side, and finally, this back and forth action is stopped with a bucket.
That was like a 4x100 meter relay right there in that past few seconds. Neither team could buy that layup.
Here's Wood, just missed the layup, and now misses a 16-footer. And a foul down low, going for that rebound on Sanaya Wilson. More substitutions for Syracuse. Coach Jack said her forwards are not ready to play 35 minutes per game like her guards are. Hyman and Fair stay out there, but they swap out Wood and Wilson for Lewis and Strong. Alaina Rice back into the game as well. Georgia Woolley takes a seat.
It's kind of interesting because at the beginning of the season, like the first half or so, the forwards were playing like 30 minutes per game. Now they're kind of switching it up.
Taylor, lefty layup. No, but she cleans it up, gets her own rebound, and finishes. Three-point game in the Dome, 6 minutes to go first half. Taylor with 7 and 6 already. Dariana Lewis can't hit the mid-range jumper, but a jump ball gives possession back to the Orange. We touched on Camryn Taylor in the open, John. She's inching closer and closer to a first half double-double with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter.
She's been everything as advertised. Running out in transition in the fast break. She's taken a couple of jump shots and is cleaned up on the glass.
Rice loses the handle. Here comes Virginia. Alexia Smith left side. And she finishes the layup.
I gotta say, I've been loving the minutes from McKenna Dale, 44. Both in the back check, stopping a Dyaisha Fair layup, setting up that fast break opportunity there. She's looked great off the bench.
Dariana Lewis down low. Finishes off the glass to counter. Dale, someone who only plays about 14 minutes per game, the lower end of this Virginia rotation. But given Coach Mock some good minutes in this first half. Burnell misses the tough floater. Hyman tells Fair to look up. She catches, releases, and misses off the back rim.
Nice closeout by London Clarkson. She's 6'2" and got all up in Fair's grill to affect that shot.
Cavaliers swinging around the perimeter. Smith drives. Misses it long off the back iron. Hyman, so dangerous with the dribble. Gets it to Fair. Rice with it. Way off the mark, off the backboard and nothing else. And Ataya will give the basketball to Virginia. Back and forth, inside the Dome we go. It's a 3-point game with under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Two teams hungry for a win, battling it out inside the Dome. Hey, thanks, Johnny. The only thing that's spice is that Luke pocket square.
I like that combo.
Making us look bad as Luke's looking clean back in studio. Here inside the Dome, that Orange fast start has kind of fizzled out a little bit. The Orange just 1 for their last 8 shooting the basketball.
And there was a 3-minute scoreless drought too, but luckily Dariana Lewis put some water in that drought.
Burnell for 3, and we are tied inside the Dome.
That's the Sam Brunel we know. That's the 41% three-point shooter, Sam Brunel.
29-29, back to where we started. We expected a good one in this game, and we've gotten one in the first half. Strong right inside the three-point line. This is the jumper. Clarkson with the rebound. Here comes Virginia, a chance to take the lead. Cavs haven't led since it was 12-10 Virginia with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Dale steps into a 3 and knocks it down. Virginia has taken the lead in the second.
It's a big shot for Dale. In her last 3 games, she was just 1 for 9 from downtown. Sees that one go through.
Averaging just 2.5 points per game since the calendars flipped to 2023. But a big shot to give the Who's the lead. Fair trying to counter, and she does. Nothing but nylon for Dyaisha Fair, her 3rd triple of the night.
Very efficient, too, on those opportunities. She's 3 for 5 now.
The shot breaks a 6-0 Cavalier run. Miller loses it in the corner. And it's Syracuse basketball.
Something else that's interesting. Syracuse typically hits about 5 threes per game. They've already done that here in this first half.
and neither team known for their three-point shooting prowess. Virginia shoots it 28% from beyond the arc. That's second to last in the ACC. Syracuse, just 29%, 12th in the conference. Woolley can shoot it though, fakes it, takes it, misses it, but goes to the line.
I think the biggest thing for Syracuse, especially tonight, maybe going forward too, is where can you get the production when it's not coming from Woolley, because she's kind of been up and down with the shooting. Nice fake, gets free, has the open lane, and then Carol Miller just kind of gets her hand right in the way there and whacked her wrist in that process. So a nice opportunity here for Woolley to get some confidence.
But she misses her first free throw. Woolley, an almost 80% free throw shooter on the season, has a 1-for-2 trip. 33-32, the Orange. Up a point on UVA here with under 3 to go in the first half. Vaughn trying to get it past the trees, and Asia Strong slaps it out of bounds.
That's a good way to describe it. Lewis got beat one-on-one, so Strong kind of slid over lacrosse style and forced that pass. Seemed like a bit of a gamble, but it paid off.
6'2", Asia Strong. Down there was 6'1", Dariana Lewis. London Clarkson doesn't care. She finishes strong, lets out a scream, and Virginia's back up one.
Clarkson just moved that tree.
This is a big lineup for Virginia. Dale, Clarkson, and Burnell all out there over 6 feet. But Dyaisha Fair does not care. Her 4-3 of the first half.
Look out. She only hit 4 field goals the entire game against Duke. She's got 4 triples already.
Coach Mox said it was going to be a team effort to guard Dyaisha Fair. She's up over a dozen in the first half with 12. Valladay to the line. So now for Dyaisha Fair.
Well, Dariana Lewis didn't like this call. Looked like all ball there. But I have liked the pep in the step that Taylor Valladay has had so far. She's driving, she's attacking, she's getting out ahead of everybody else. I like the aggression.
Taylor Valladay going to the line for 2. Number 2 for Virginia, but back to number 2 for Syracuse. Dyaisha Fair has got over double digits now in the first half. She has scored over double digits in every single game in a Syracuse uniform. And in her college career, she has scored double figures 104 of the 109 career games she's played. Valladay with a 2-for-2 trip to the line. We're back tied at 36. Orange passing around the perimeter. Insert pass to Lewis, who throws it out of bounds. 6 turnover the first half for Syracuse. Lewis immediately to the bench.
And I think a lot of those 6 turnovers, Calvin, are really self-inflicted. It's bad passes in transition. It's offline passes like that one where you've got an open shooter in Woolley just waiting in the corner to catch and shoot. So it's not like Syracuse is just throwing it around everywhere and just being over-the-top sloppy. It's just self-inflicted stuff.
Valladay attacks. Tries to find Burnell, but turns it over. Alaina Rice, no stranger to running the break, and is fouled. Valladay from behind. 3rd foul of the quarter for Virginia. First on Valladay.
And that's all created by Alaina Rice being aggressive, getting out in transition, and drawing that contact. That's how this Syracuse team likes to play. That's why they're tough to play against.
Woolley sneaks back door and knocks down the short corner jumper. Woolley up to 5, more than her previous 2 games combined. Dale, bounce pass to a wide open Clarkson, who missed the bunny.
That's uncharacteristic tonight. She's been automatic down there on the block.
Clarkson with a Virginia team high 10, couldn't get to a dozen. Fair, good pass to Woolley for the triple. Georgia Woolley, you think she's got her swagger back?
Looked like it. She was smiling after that one. That's got to feel really good for her. And an unbelievable pass by Dyaisha Fair in midair, locating number 5 in white, wide open in the corner.
Clarkson right back to work. Dale to answer, and she does. McKenna Dale, cold-blooded.
She wears that number 44. That's a pretty big deal in this city, and she's earning it, I would say, so far.
3-point game. We continue to seesaw back and forth in the first half. Ollie's driving and is fouled. Coach Mox wanted a travel call, not going to get it. Second on Valladay, who heads to the bench. Got Devon back in. 4th of the half for Virginia. 4th of the quarter for Virginia. Shouldn't be too much of an issue with 18 seconds to go in this first half. Shot clock now turned off. Syracuse could hold to the last shot.
They don't like to do that, though.
Fair bluffed the logo 3. Now kicks it for Rice. Left to dribble to the block. Kicks it back out to Fair, who hoists the 3, partially blocked. Vaughn picks up the basketball. 2 to shoot, 3 at the horn. Banks out. Yata Vaughn with almost an exclamation point to end this first half. But boy, was this a fun 20 minutes to begin our Thursday night.
If you wanted offense, you're certainly getting it. The players that we expected to be sparks today have been to the basketball, especially from downtown. 7 of 16 in that first half, a team that typically makes just 5 per game. I want to see if SU can keep up that 3-point shooting at the level that it is right now, because Virginia's still in this game.
Big thing you look at when you look at this stat sheet, Syracuse from beyond the arc, 7 of 16. This was a team coming into play tonight. 8 for 42 from deep, but just as I say that, Georgia Welly misses a long ball.
Wooley's looked really good today. She's already hit 1 3, but still looking for that consistency, but she's been not scared to pull the trigger.
Kyra Wood into the paint, spinning, winning for 2.
That's why she's starting. She didn't start to begin the season, but she's adding elements to her game just like that are allowing for her to get. It was a really strong take.
Burnell loses the handle, now picks it up and scores, plus a free throw coming. An experienced play from an experienced player. And Sam Burnell has a chance for the old-fashioned 3.
This is why she's one of the best players in the country. Yeah, she can hit the 3 ball. She did that in the first half, but she'll also power through you and score near the paint as well. That's why she's a forward and really a stretch forward.
Burnell with an opportunity to get in double digits. And she does. Right in front of us, Georgia Woolley and Sanaya Wilson collide. They both hit the deck. Now pop to their feet for this offensive possession. Orange trying to break this zone defense presented by Virginia, but they can't. SU turns it over. Taylor in transition. Left the layup short. Gets her own rebound. Missed it long. And Alaina Rice has the board. Does Fair want to push the tempo? You know she does. And is fouled.
2 rare misses from Camryn Taylor from point-blank range, too. That zone defense leading to a chance offensively. Coach Mox has to love that, but it doesn't matter if you don't finish.
Alexia Smith back into the game. Valladay just picked up her 3rd foul.
That's trouble.
So Taylor Valladay takes his seat in the early stages of the second half as Georgia Woolley misses the layup, but an offensive rebound. Fair already with 4 threes on the night, hunting another one. Five to shoot for the Orange. Rice leaves it to Woolley. Missed the 3. Another fight for the rebound, and Syracuse has another offensive board. Fair, give her 5.
Little high five with Coach Felicia Legetchak as well. That's all set up by Sanaya Wilson. Volleyball spiking that basketball. It pinballed its way to Fair's hands. She found herself open and does what she's done all night long and cash in that triple.
Taylor trying to answer. Burnell the offensive glass, swatted by Wood. Here comes Fair. Bounce pass, Woolley to the basket and to the free throw line. Dyaisha Fair with 15 points, all on three-pointers, and then she's moving the tempo in transition.
Yeah, Taylor late getting back. Georgia Woolley does the smart thing, uses her shoulder to draw that contact. Couldn't get the shot off, but no less. 2 opportunities at the free throw line, and Calvin, look out because Camryn Taylor's in foul trouble.
Something that Coach Mox told us absolutely could not happen. And a good bounce-back night for Georgia Woolley. Does miss the first free throw, but coming in off back-to-back 2-point performances. 8-point effort to this point.
Really confusing because she was so great to start 2023, but fell off, I guess.
Makes the second free throw. It's a 5-point lead for Syracuse, 47-42. McKenna Dale back into the game, gets a touch. Burnell thought about the 3. Now Vaughn running the offense, 10 to shoot for the Hoos.
It's a great defensive possession.
And it leads to a turnover. Alaina Rice ahead of the pack for the easy finish. Timeout, Virginia. Orange have a 7-point lead.
That's the easiest basket Alaina Rice is going to score all game long. Syracuse using that zone defense to make Virginia see some ghosts. The easy takeaway and the turnover leads to a touchdown with the Rice layup.
To you, it may just be an elevator.
Here goes nothing.
Syracuse just 1 point shy, their largest lead of the night, and that's because Alaina Rice getting it done for the Cuse.
She's looked like the MEAC Rookie of the Year that we saw her at Florida A&M right now, especially in 2023. Ever since the Boston College game, she has really turned it around. She's hitting her shots, and she's forcing steals and getting points in transition and off of those steals as well. She's looked absolutely unreal.
She's been on fire those last 5 games, now averaging double digits in that stretch. Already a dozen tonight in 19 minutes. And the Orange lead is 7 in the Dome with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Virginia's fought back. Can the Cavs do it again?
I think it's pretty critical. We're not really talking about this. Taylor Valladay on the bench with the foul trouble. She's been very good setting up this offense all night.
Yanta Vaughn tasked now with doing that. She works on Georgia Woolley. 8 to shoot for the Cavaliers. Burnell blocked away. Wood got her again. Fair in front of the pack. 4-2. 17 points for Dyaisha Fair, and the Orange have their largest lead of the night.
We talk about Syracuse being towards the bottom of the ACC standings, but this is a team that believes it could be top 3 in the conference, and it's because they're playing like this.
Alaina Rice picks off the pass, but is blocked out of bounds off her shoulder. Good hustle and effort by Yanta Vaughn to prevent another easy lay-in on the break. And Coach Mox for Virginia doesn't like some of the sloppy play. Her team now with double-digit turnovers.
The offense just doesn't look cohesive right now. And it might be because Syracuse is doing a great job defensively, getting in those passing lanes, being active, and clogging up those passing lanes.
Another errant pass, but Taylor's there to scoop it up and lay it in. Fortunate bounce for Virginia.
Coach Felicia Leggett-Jack wanted a charge, too, because Rice hit the deck on that Taylor make.
Woolley wants it in the corner. Now she gets it. Strong. Great feed, but Rice is swatted from behind. Camryn Taylor with the rejection. It's a block party in the Dome.
That's fair. It's not May, but yeah, it is a block party. Taylor with a nice backside help, and Wood didn't even see her.
Sloppy pass this time for the Orange, and it's into the hands of Taylor. Some sloppy play in here in the third quarter. Can Dale take advantage?
She has it, points today.
Dale was 6 on the night. Wants it top of the key. Gets it. And a foul off the ball. Going against Camryn Taylor. Her third.
And that's not a good sign for Virginia because you've already got Valladay on the bench with 3 fouls. Now Taylor, your leading scorer, has 3. So that's certainly going to affect how she plays the game here. She's going to be less aggressive on the offensive end.
Dyaisha Fair's always aggressive on the offensive end. Finds Rice, who hits a 3. Alaina Rice has 15 points.
Did you see that pass from Fair, too? Was staring her defender straight down. Saw Rice in the corner of her eye. May have an extra eyeball in her temple because that pass was precise.
4th assist of the night for Fair to give the Orange a 10-point lead. Taylor spinning, laying, and scoring.
Still, you're trading 2s for 3s right now. The way Syracuse is shooting the ball from downtown tonight might be trouble for the Wahoos.
Dyaisha Fair's got 5. Tries to hit Woolley. Looked to be poked out of bounds by Dale. Georgia Woolley says, hey, it's our ball. Referees going back and forth. And it's Virginia basketball. The Orange can't believe it.
Well, it's a tough break for Syracuse. Perhaps to look at that after this break here. But you gotta love the basketball that SU is playing to begin this second half. How about the no-look feed from Fair, and then Alaina Rice knocks it down again. Orange up 8.
Up by 8, and as the games get closer and closer to March, you need your best players to step up. Syracuse has gotten a huge performance from Dyaisha Fair tonight.
She certainly is Syracuse's best player, and she's playing her best basketball. As we get closer to March, she's finding her spots, getting open. That's why she's such a prolific scorer. She knows where she needs to be to catch the basketball, to put herself in a position to score. She does it time and time again.
A game-high 17 for Fair on 5 of 8 shooting from beyond the arc. Coming into play tonight, just a 32% free throw shooter on the year. Tisha Hyman replaces her, though, in this lineup for the Orange. Just 5 to shoot for Georgia Woolley. Orange don't realize it. Hyman from the logo rolls out. Vaughn pushes the tempo quickly into the paint to Taylor for the lay-in. Camryn Taylor with a team-high 13 for Virginia. Cavs back down 6.
That's as many as she scored against Notre Dame. While the lineup has fluctuated for the Cavs, she's been a consistent scorer and player for this team.
Woolley leaves the floater short. And Clarkson has the rebound.
Only seeing about 1.5 offensive possessions for Syracuse, but you can kind of just tell when Fair's not in the game, this offense doesn't look the same.
Can Virginia take advantage with Fair off the bench? Smith is swatted out of bounds. And we joked about the blocks, but now 7 blocks combined between these two teams tonight.
On the note of Fair, if Virginia wants to capitalize, they're going to have to do it quickly because she plays 35 minutes a game, so by that math, she'll be in pretty soon.
Vaughn with 5 to shoot. Short corner shot. Clarkson rims out, rebound tapped, and Smith wins the race. Fresh 20 for Virginia. Vaughn, step in 3, she's got it. Back down to a 3-point game as Yanta Vaughn drills a triple.
Only her 10th of the season on 38 attempts, so not necessarily a knockdown shooter, but SU has been giving her that shot all night long. She finally decides, hey, you're going to give it to me? I'm going to take it. Made the Orange pay.
Her coach says she knows exactly what she wants to do and does it. She wanted to make it a 1-possession game and did. Strong trying to answer, can't. Rebound, out of bounds, Syracuse basketball.
One more look at that 3. Syracuse in the zone defense and kind of just a soft spot here. A little bit of traffic. Wood can't decide if she wants to stay or go back to the basket. It leaves Vaughn open for that triple, and she cashes. I mean, that's a shot you're willing to give up, though, because, again, Vaughn not necessarily a great shooter.
Strong strings the jumper to answer.
That's something where if she can do that consistently, she's a very tough cover, and this offense can be even more dangerous. 42% field goal percentage this year. We've seen her take those mid-range jumpers already in this game. That was really the first one that we've seen her connect on, but it forces defenders to move away from the rim.
Taylor goes right to the rim and finishes around a defender.
She's been up to the challenge today. She's been the instigator. She's got 15 points, and Syracuse really has had no answers for her in the paint. Here comes Dyaisha.
Back to the scorer's table she goes. 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Syracuse up 3. 10 to shoot for the Orange. Rice to the basket, and one. Wrong hand, but right finish.
Rice leading this Syracuse team in scoring for, right now, the second game in a row. And she says, forget the left hand. I don't need that. I'm going to use the window. The bank is still open tonight. That was a solid touch.
Rice and Fair tied for a game-high 17. And Rice now has the game lead with 18.
So if she can do that in conjunction to what Fair does, Fair wasn't necessarily great against Duke. She only had 12 points. That was a season low for this calendar year. If Rice, even Hyman, and Fair can all get going in the same game, this is a dangerous team.
Valladay back into the game for Virginia. Remember, she's working with those 3 fouls.
That's who they need in the game. Team's leader in assists. Let's see if she can spark this offense.
Had a career-high 10 assists when she played Syracuse last season down in Charlottesville. Dale, good bounce pass and an even better finish. Clarkson wrapping around the rim for 2.
Playing to her strengths, too. She established herself open on the left block, got open, and used her dominant left hand to finish off the window.
Virginia hanging around, down by just 4. Woolley stops, pops, connects. Woolley's now in double figures with 11. Dale trying to answer. Oh, she does! McKenna Dale has 3 3-pointers on the night.
Have a game, McKenna Dale. She's now 3 for 4. In her last 3 games, she was 1 for 9.
Fair to the rim, now to the line. And as good as Syracuse has looked offensively at points in this game, boy, has Virginia had the answer.
Well, it's because Syracuse has really been relying on the 3-point shot for much of this game. Meanwhile, Virginia has consistently gotten the ball inside and scored down low, whether it be with London Clarkson or with Camryn Taylor. That's been consistent offense. So Syracuse going to need Dyaisha Fair on the floor definitely for the rest of this game, and going to have to hit a couple more threes as well.
Fair hits her first free throw. That should come to no surprise. Her 82%, 5th in the ACC this season. And she makes them both. Could be a big final 40 seconds of the third quarter. Who's going to carry the momentum into the final 10 minutes? Valladay picks up her dribble. Smith in the corner. Bad pass, and Taylor can't handle it. 20 to shoot for the Orange if they want it, but they want to run. Asia Strong lays it in. Virginia to hold for last shot. Valladay with the double team, 2 to shoot. Taylor at the horn. No good, and that is how the third quarter will come to an end. We continue to go back and forth, but it's the home team trying to move to 5-0 in the Dome all time against Virginia with a 7-point lead after 30 minutes of play.
And it's because of Syracuse's defense, but
Syracuse up 7 after 30 minutes inside the Dome, but the fourth quarter struggles have been a major story for this Orange team. SU plus 10 points per game in the fourth quarter when they win, minus 7 per game when they lose.
Yeah, SU's going to need to continue to find some offense in this quarter because Virginia's hanging around with that offense they have too. That's why right there.
Just 10 seconds in, Taylor will find her way to the free throw line.
They've gone into her and London Clarkson consistently with the basketball. That's been the focal point of this offense all night. And Syracuse, at times, has forced a couple of turnovers and taken the ball away, but more often than not, it's been Taylor scoring or getting to the free throw line, and that's probably going to continue here down the stretch of the fourth.
Taylor, who we highlighted in the open, a team-high 15 for Virginia.
She's also in foul trouble, too, and it's been impressive to see her continue to be aggressive in the paint.
And gets the friendly bounce to the second free throw. So her fouls could be a story in this fourth quarter, but for the meantime, a 6-point Syracuse lead. 9:40 to play in this ball game, a game that both teams really want to win. It would bring Syracuse back up to 500 in ACC play. It would add a win for Virginia, a team that's lost its last 13 straight conference road games. Georgia Woolley into the paint, and she goes to the line.
I think that might be the difference in this game so far. You talk about the three-point shooting, but Georgia Woolley is kind of back for Syracuse. She's kind of broken her slump, and it's because of takes like this one, knowing that she hasn't played very well lately, but treating this as a new night and trying to find her own offense right there and drawing the foul, getting to the charity stripe. She's been there a lot tonight.
And now she's got 12 points. 3 for 5 from the line of the evening is Woolley. The 78% free throw shooter of the season. Drills them both. Woolley's got 13 and Syracuse is up 8.
This defense has been great all night because it makes the clock tick a lot faster. These offensive possessions really start with 10 seconds left in the shot clock.
Shot clock down to 8, but Taylor doesn't care. Camryn Taylor, 18 on the night.
I said it before, I'll say it again. That's why she's so tough to cover. How about the range on that shot?
Dyaisha Fair's got unlimited range. She pulls up and hits. What a tough move by Dyaisha Fair, who's got 21 on the night.
Unlimited range and unlimited firepower. She can score from, like you said, anywhere on the floor and really at any time, and tonight's been her night.
Does Camryn Taylor have another answer? Leaves it for Clarkson, who missed the layup. Does Fair want to run? She definitely thought about it, and now she'll pull things back. Working one-on-one, step back distance, Jay, no, but to the line with Valladay's 4th foul.
Yeah, bookmark this point of the game right here. 8:14 left in the fourth quarter because Valladay's gonna definitely have to go back to the bench now with that 4th foul, and it really is set up by Dyaisha Fair and her wiggle. Look at her. She's getting Valladay moving and grooving. The point is, away from Fair, who has the basketball, that's how she clears that open space to score. That's why she scores over 20 points per game, Calvin. It's not just the catch and shoot wide open threes. It's getting open herself, creating her own offense like that.
The 3rd leading scorer in the ACC with 22 on the night. Also 7 from 11 from the field. And she hits her 2nd free throw. Largest lead of the day for Syracuse, matched again at 10 at 71-61, 8 minutes to go. Does Virginia have another run left in it? Vaughn, Burnell fresh off the bench, into the corner, Smith drives to the basket, but misses the lay-in. A 3-on-4 for Syracuse. Fair keeps her head up with the dribble. Working on Vaughn. Steps in and connects. Timeout, Virginia. Dyaisha Fair is in her bag.
Another basket for Fair and another high five with Felicia Leggett-Jack.
Orange with their largest lead of the night at 12 with 7.5 to play in this ball game, and a big reason why, the backcourt tandem of Dyaisha Fair and Alaina Rice. Rice, a career-high 18. Meanwhile, just another night for Fair. She's got 25.
Rice definitely the big surprise, and she's picked up the slack that's been left by Tisha Hyman in this game, who is scoreless and has only taken 2 shots.
Virginia not going away, though. They've had the answer all night, and an offensive 3-second violation called. Coach Mox cannot believe it for Virginia. She's been frustrated with some of the silly mistakes her team has made all night. That's the 13th turnover on the Cavaliers.
Goes beyond the turnovers, though. It's also the fouls. So, no, I don't know if Virginia has that answer in it because some of their best players are in that foul trouble. Valladay's on the bench with 4, and then you still got Taylor with 3.
Fair kicks it. Woolley leaves it off the front rim. And an off-ball foul on the loose balls going against Syracuse.
I think if you're Virginia, you got to get the ball to Sam Brunel. She's been very quiet lately, but has hit a 3 in this contest, and again, is a player that can stretch out this SU defense.
Taylor goes right to the basket and lays it in with the left hand.
That works too. It's worked all night long.
Two of the experienced players trying to get Virginia into this, Brunel, and now with Taylor having 20 points to her name.
It's really impressive too because she's doing these takes to the basket against a zone defense, which is hard to do.
Fair open look. Oh, come on. Fair's got 6 threes and 28 points.
Is it fair, Calvin?
That's a new season high.
She makes basketball look unfair.
Vaughn trying a tricky pass. Virginia can't handle it. SU up 13, and boy is Dyaisha bending the rules with fairness tonight.
And it's crunch time now for Virginia. Valladay back in the game for Coach Mox's team with the 4 fouls. But Dyaisha Fair just having an unbelievable night for Syracuse. Maybe the best she's shot all year.
And now she has it. You gotta watch her off the dribble, calling for a screen. Strong, elbow J, she's got it. It's a 15-point Syracuse lead.
Calvin, I just saw London Clarkson trot to UVA's locker room. Well, she's doing sprints over there at least. That's a big loss for the Cavs down low.
Clarkson with 12 points on the night. Dale is an offensive rebound and a trip to the line.
That's all fine and dandy, but the way Syracuse is shooting the ball tonight, especially through the midway point of this 4th quarter, it's going to be tough to go blow for blow with this team on one end to the other. Already a 15-point lead. It's been stretched.
And when Syracuse is shooting 42% from beyond the arc, it's a team very tough to beat.
And to put it in context, a team that typically shoots 29% from beyond the arc game to game and has really struggled to shoot the ball from 3 in this building especially.
Dale misses the second free throw. McKenna Dale, though, does have 10 points on the night. First time in double digits in ACC play for the second-year grad transfer from Brown.
She's shown that she could score. She had 22 points in the game earlier this year.
Vaughn thinks about it and then knocks it down. Second 3 of the night for Yanta Vaughn. Virginia cuts it to 11.
That was a deep 3, too. It may have been good from NBA range.
Fair to Woolley inside the 3-point arc. Can't get the roll, but Wood has the rebound before Smith takes it away. 2-on-2. Valladay is blocked. Alaina Rice out of nowhere, and now she has the loose ball. 4-on-2 for the Cuse. Fair will slow things down. Oh, she wanted to shoot it, but she thought better of it. Now she does. Can't hit this time. Tie up. Syracuse ball.
That was an excellent defensive play by Alaina Rice. Getting back on defense, getting a swat, and for a player that stands just 5'8", she's got some bunnies, I will say, and then also the wherewithal to reestablish herself back in the field of play to catch that rebound and take it the other way, set up an offensive possession here for SU.
Just a hustle play by Alaina Rice, and you mentioned her bunny. Even at 5'8", she averages nearly 5 rebounds per game. How about that for some hops? Woolley catches the inbound. Here's Dyaisha Fair. Mismatch here with the 6-foot Dale guarding her outside the three-point line. Instead it's to Woolley, who passes, now gets it back, and leaves the three long. But Valade taps out the basketball. The Orange will keep it. And now a third chance opportunity for Syracuse, continuing to shorten this game and playing Drano with the clock.
As they should. I mean, you got the big lead here. I like how Syracuse is not playing too conservative, though. Georgia Woolley was open for that three. She had the space, so she took it. She's not hitting that shot, but Syracuse also staying relentless on the glass. Dyaisha Fair fighting for that rebound, getting in position, forcing UVA to tap it out of bounds.
So 4.5 minutes to go in this game. Syracuse up by 11. And the reason this game is so big for both sides, because when you look at the opponents, each team has a head. Syracuse with Louisville coming to town on Sunday, then at Virginia Tech, home against Boston College in North Carolina. As for Virginia, well, it's the second rendition of the Commonwealth Clash coming for the Cavaliers the next time they take the court on Sunday. Virginia already with a loss to Virginia Tech, a 74-66 decision on January 5th. For a Virginia team, trying to prevent falling to 3-7 in conference play after an undefeated 12-0 non-con. Taylor going after the basketball, and that's a big foul. Now her fourth on Virginia's leading scorer on the season and on the night. She's got 20, and now 4 fouls.
Something else, you mentioned that January 5th game. That's when this Virginia team had Mer McLean. They haven't had her since January 8th, and this team has been a lot different since then.
The UConn transfer, at the time of her injury, the second leading scorer and the leading rebounder for the Cavaliers. Alaina Rice working on a season high. Now to Fair, 3 to shoot. Woolley, a tough jumper in traffic, is fouled right before the horn. Woolley at the buzzer, got it off, and the foul is on Camryn Taylor. Her night's over. A huge 5th foul with 4:10 to go in this ballgame.
And Calvin, if you're going to pick up your 5th, it cannot be on this one. There's milliseconds left on the shot clock. That's a tough take for Georgia Woolley. Instead, Taylor fouls her in the process of shooting, and she takes a seat on the bench for the 2nd game in a row and the 4th time this year.
At the shot clock buzzer, and that possession for Syracuse has now turned into points. Taylor frustrated as Woolley hits the first free throw.
And London Clarkson also not in too. Oh, check that, she is back in, excuse me. She was out for a second running some sprints, but at least they still have that presence down low with her.
Valade with the basketball also has 4 fouls, as here's Clarkson with a touch, and she goes to the line. Sanaya Wilson, who played a pretty decent first half, we haven't seen a ton of in the second half, commits the foul. Clarkson having a pretty good game in her own right with 12. Has a chance for 13 and 14 here with the line.
Yeah, so expect her to get the ball a lot more down the stretch here because Taylor's on the bench and fouled out for the rest of this game. But Virginia's also going to need to hit some threes, so maybe Sam Brunell gets back involved in the party as well. She's not in the game right now, so perhaps they go to McKenna Dale instead, 44.
Clarkson drills her first free throw. Sanaya Wilson on that play picked up her 4th foul. So something to look at on the Syracuse side. It's a 2-for-2 trip for London Clarkson. Here comes the Virginia pressure. Dyaisha Fair all the way here in the front court. And Asia Strong gets it over the timeline for the Cuse. Fair, step back 3. You gotta be kidding. A rainbow triple. Dyaisha Fair has 7 threes.
And 31 points to boot as well. Are you kidding me? She is not missing a thing. Every shot is green tonight for Dyaisha Fair. She doesn't even have that much space, but the defender's sagging off, and she takes it no less.
That one almost hit the dome roof. A season-high 7 triples for a season-high 31 points. Syracuse's leader has showed up in a game the Orange needed her to.
The most threes that Fair has hit in a game was 8. back when she was at Buffalo in a game against San Jose State, also tied it again against Bowling Green in January of 2021. She could do that once again tonight. And that's why Syracuse has really pulled away here in the fourth quarter. That three-point shooting has been consistent throughout.
Virginia down by 14, running out of time, 3.5 to go. Katie Polly, a threat from deep, enters the game. So does Burnell, a three-point shooter. Instead, they go inside to Clarkson, who finishes with the left hand. Not much Wilson can do there, working with 4 fouls.
That's the identity of this Virginia team. Points in the paint. The problem tonight has been Syracuse's three-point shooting. That's basically the story of the game right now.
Fair steps back, looks for 8, and has it! 8 threes for Dyaisha Fair. She ties her career high.
Might be on her way to a career high for points in a game, too, of 40.
She picks up the loose ball. 34 of the night. This time she passes. Strong can't finish. Wilson has the rebound. Can't hit again, but works her way to the free throw line.
Well, Calvin, we kind of touched on this before. This Syracuse team has really struggled in the fourth quarter. You had an interesting encounter, actually, with Coach Felicia Leggett-Jack earlier this week, right, about what happens in the fourth quarter with this team. They've taken that narrative and thrown it in the trash can.
Orange erupting here in the fourth on the home floor, and a big reason why the three-point shooting struggles have gone by the wayside. I asked Coach Mox in our conversation with the Virginia bench boss today, is the 2-3 zone going to be a factor stopping the Syracuse three-point shot? She says, well, sometimes teams just decide to break out of shooting slumps on their home floor, and Syracuse has done that tonight. Wilson missed her first and her second, but Alaina Rice with the offensive rebound. You gotta imagine number 2 watched the basketball, and now she has it. Isolation on Taylor Valladay. Fair now passes to Rice, who misses the 3, and another offensive rebound.
Calvin, Syracuse now has 17 offensive boards. That's as many defensive rebounds as Virginia has today.
And for a Virginia team ranked 8th in the country in rebounds per game coming into play tonight, how about the victory for Syracuse? Especially after the Orange didn't even grab 30 rebounds in the loss to Duke. Coach Jack says she's looking for people that have that blue-collar mentality to step up and get rebounds. Well, she's found some tonight. And guess who's at the free throw line? Dyaisha Fair. Going for 35 points on this shot. And she's got it.
Let me give you something else on the note of rankings. Coming into this game, Virginia, the top three-point defensive team in the ACC, holding opponents to 26%. Has not looked like it tonight.
Orange have shot 43% from deep, and Dyaisha Fair's got 36 points.
She set a goal for herself to win ACC Newcomer of the Year. She's looking like it tonight.
Dale's been hot from deep, not this time. Smith has the rebound. Vaughn missed that time. And Fair with the ball. And an offensive foul off the ball, and Sanaya Wilson. That will end her night. 5 free throws to the Buffalo transfer in her first start in a Syracuse uniform. And we've talked about it a little bit tonight, John, but Syracuse up by 17 here with under 2 minutes to go. And Tisha Hyman, scoreless, 0 for 2 in just 14 minutes.
Yeah, it's a head scratch. I don't really know. She looked fine in warm-ups. She started this game. She was playing well in the first quarter, setting up her teammates, playing defense, but we just have not seen much of her. But Alaina Rice has picked it up.
Rice with a season high, Fair with a season high. McKenna Dale still going to work. Takes a tough foul and will get rewarded with 2 free throws.
That's definitely a bright spot for this Virginia team, if nothing else, is the play of McKenna Dale tonight. Nice move. Dariana Lewis slides over, and the two just collide. She's had the three-point shooting stroke, but also displaying her abilities near the basket.
Dale with now 11 on the night. Did have a 22-point performance earlier this season against North Carolina Wilmington. 11's her ACC high, can't push it to 12. Syracuse basketball, just over 90 seconds to go. Orange trying to put this one to bed, up by 16. Thanks in large part to the person with the basketball, Dyaisha Fair. 36 on the night. Fair, instead Rice gets bullied, loses the basketball, but is just so tenacious getting the ball back. Gets into a tie-up with Dale. Possession error will favor Virginia as Dale is slow to get up.
It's a feisty Syracuse team.
Yeah, Coach Jack encouraging her team because this might be the definition of a blue-collar play.
Yeah. Well, this team has three values, and relentless energy certainly fits under that umbrella, and you see it every play of every game. Even when Syracuse is up 16 and there's a minute left in the contest, and maybe it doesn't matter if you get that basketball, if you're Alaina Rice, she still gives it her all to go get it. And yeah, it doesn't result in Syracuse possession, but that's stuff that you can build on. And when you're in a losing streak, a losing slump, that's the kind of stuff that's going to get you out of that skid like it has tonight.
Well, Coach Jack said it's all about what's in your lunchbox. What's been in the lunchbox tonight for Syracuse? Tough rebounds, tenacious defense, and three-point shooting as Virginia turns it over once again. Sam Burnell coming right at us.
Would have been trouble if she jumped up there.
And Dyaisha Fair, just 4 points shy of a career high, gets a big old hug from her head coach. A 36-point night to a standing O inside the dome. 8 for 11 from three. Nia Wilson into the game, the freshman Kennedy Perkins into the game. Perkins has just played 4 minutes in the year 2023, getting some run with a minute to go in this ball game. As Syracuse is 60 seconds away from breaking its 3-game losing streak and getting back to 500 in ACC play. Perkins right off the bench to the basket, but her off-balance shot is no good. Yanta Vaughn working the other way. And she turns it over. Nia Wilson adds to the theme of the night off the bench with a steal and a lay-in by Woolley. Woolley's got 17, Rice has 18, Fair's got 36, the Orange have 90, and Virginia turns it over again. Just under a 2-second differential between game clock and shot clock.
The difference tonight has been the offense, Calvin, whether it's from the half court or just getting transition buckets off of turnovers. The Orange failed to score more than 60 points in the last 3 games, all of which were losses. They flipped the script tonight.
Virginia hasn't scored in 3 minutes. And Syracuse will run this clock all the way down to a 1.5 seconds. What a win this is. In a 90-point effort coming off a season low is how you break a 3-game losing streak.
And this is big going forward because Syracuse prides itself on being a top 2, top 3 ACC team.
Statement needed, statement made. Orange come back to the Dome and drop 90 on Virginia to get back to 5-5 in conference play, thanks to a 36-point night from Dyaisha Fair.
If you want a blueprint for how Syracuse will compete at the elite level in this conference, this is it tonight.
SU had a tough road trip, a